Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Levitt. I'm the Director of Bangor Adult Education, and I'd like to see if everyone would join with me and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you. Parents, families, friends, and most of all graduates, welcome to the 2026 commencement exercises for Bangor Adult Education. This time I'd like to take a few moments and introduce some people here tonight that make our program successful. And up here with me tonight, Dr. Kathy Harris-Spenberg, the Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Marie Robinson, the Superintendent of Schools, Holly Thayer is our Academic and High Sec Coordinator, and our commencement speaker tonight is Sarah York. I'd also like to quickly recognize our teachers and staff, Jeremy Bernier and Nate Berger, our teachers, our College and Community Success Coordinator, Trish Hayes, NMRC Coordinator, Brian Waring, and our Administrative Assistants, Stephanie Connor and Rhonda Hamill. And also thank you to Ray Finney, sitting down over there. He is the School Department Communications Director, and he'll be taking pictures tonight. And so tonight is a celebration of learning, and we'll honor the people who have worked so hard to obtain their high school credential. Thank you. We'll begin with our commencement speaker this evening, and she is a graduate of Bangor Adult Education. And currently she is a special education teacher in Bangor School Department. So it's my pleasure to introduce Sarah York.
I'm sorry if I speak really loud. I have a very projector voice as is, and the microphone, I was told, is hot. Welcome graduates, family, and friends. Good evening and congratulations. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to be here celebrating this very special accomplishment with you. I'd like to start by reading a quote from the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go by the great Dr. Seuss. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself any way that you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy, and girls, who'll decide where to go. I know how hard you worked to get where you are tonight, and you should be so proud of yourselves. Your hard work and determination will not go unnoticed. I know because we've walked in similar shoes for many years and over many miles. I've hit every frost heave and tried every detour until I finally found my route, my path. My path is not that of my mothers or fathers, not of my grandparents or aunts, uncles or cousins, and not of my siblings. It is my own path, a path that I forged to create a better life for my son and I can't say that my life is perfect, and I'm sure that it will never be. But I know I can overcome and achieve just about anything I put my mind and effort towards, and I know I wouldn't be who I am. And my son wouldn't be who he is. No. And my son wouldn't be who he is if I didn't have to fight so hard for what I wanted. This is the sign. I don't need it. I guess so. To break the cycle. I often wonder when retelling my story where I should start. Do I start by telling you about my underprivileged teenage mother and father, or their early divorce, their domestic violence, or how my brother's greatness constantly overshadowed all of my successes? Or do I start by telling you that I attended 14 schools in 13 years? Or about addictions take over my once beautiful mother? In the end, I've decided none of that really matters where the story begins, but instead, where it goes. Because it leads to the same place, this place, our place, the ones that we worked for and created. So from the time I was born until I turned 18, I had moved around a lot. I attended many schools, and I hadn't lived with my parents since I was 12 years old. I dropped out of high school my senior year after coming to the realization that I wasn't going to graduate that spring. After a few months, I found myself uneducated and pregnant, my mom's path. And so this is where my story began. The following September, I entered the Good Samaritan Agency's Teen Parent Education Program to complete my high school education. I remember walking into that building as it became my new school for the first day. Wasn't I nervous? What was this new school, these new teachers and new classmates going to bring? Would it be like the other schools with the other teachers and the other classmates that I had attended? Well, I soon discovered it was not. Nobody judged me by my parents or siblings. They saw me. I had finally found a place where I could look down at my feet and decide where I wanted them to take me. I could let go of the idea that my life was somehow already created for me because of the family that I was born into. It was in those classrooms and in those halls and with those teachers that I started to be able to finally think about what I wanted in life. And I started to build momentum. I remember one of my favorite teachers, Mr. Roby, allowing me to bring my son to chemistry each day while attending program because he didn't do well in the daycare down the hall. And with this accommodation, it showed me that I had finally found some support from the teachers and social workers there, and they were pushing me forward. They showed me that they would support me and give me what I needed to find some success in my education. They saw something in me that I didn't even know existed. As graduation neared, I knew if I wanted to continue my education, I would have to take the SATs. And although the test itself made me nervous, it was once again having to walk into these halls of Bangor High School that I was anxious about. It was like I had proved every single one of my former teachers right by getting pregnant and dropping out of high school. Sadly, I didn't even consider the amount of courage and bravery I had to encapsulate just to walk into the school and take this test, the one that would end up determining where my life went next. What I didn't do was pat myself on the back. I didn't congratulate myself on a job well done. I didn't recognize that by showing up to take that test, I was actually proving everyone wrong. This was the start of me actually finding my own way. But first I had to berate myself for being a loser, for going down the path that someone else forged. I remember the looks I received that day and how badly I wanted to disappear into thin air. It didn't take long to look back on that day, at those looks on my peers' faces, for me to realize that I could use this pain and uncomfortability to make the changes I want in my life. And it is to this very day that I use pain, fear, and uncomfortableness to push me, to give me the direction, intention, drive, determination, dedication, and grit that I use to continue down my path. That following spring, I graduated from the Good Samaritan Agency's Teen Parent Education Program as valedictorian, without a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, or a sibling there to support me. And I knew right away I wanted to attend college, and I knew that I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to be someone who could support children, to make them feel special and to teach them that they can be anything and do anything they want with their lives. I wanted to be there for them like the teachers at Good Sam's were for me. But I wanted to catch it early. I don't want any child to question their amount of greatness. That is the same thing I want for Artie. I want to plant a tiny seed in a child's mind and watch it grow into a strong, beautiful tree. I want to give them all that I hadn't known existed in me: direction, intention, drive, determination, dedication, and grit. Momentum. I was accepted into the University of Maine and started on my path. Things hadn't changed overnight for me. And although I had found some drive and determination, intention, and direction, I had not built enough momentum to carry me through. Things were hard, money was tight, and it felt impossible to continue on this path that I had found, that I had started to embark upon. So I quit. It was so easy to do. I found a job and I started trudging down a new path, not my own, but someone else's. I lived this life for a while before realizing that I was actually headed down a path all too familiar to me. Again, my mother's path. And I started to worry about the life ahead of me and ahead of my son. As time passed, I reflected on my life and what I wanted it to be. I started to use my pain and fear to give me the drive, determination, intention, direction, and dedication that I would need to create the momentum in life to make the necessary changes I wanted to make. There were many small steps taken to create the path that I'm on now, to build the momentum in my life. I reapplied to the University of Maine and was accepted under academic probation. But this time was different. This time something was burning inside of me, and I knew I could do well if I worked hard and if I just didn't give up. So for the next 3.5 years, while my partner was building his business, I attended classes alone. I attended classes with my son in tow, and sometimes I didn't attend classes at all due to stomach flus, doctor's visits, or school functions. We lived on about $10,000 a year, which were mostly student loans. So we had to ask for help. We had to accept handouts, and I constantly felt as though I was worthless and that maybe I couldn't do it. Nights away with friends and date nights weren't an option. Dining out on weekends was a couple of times a year thing, and we certainly didn't spend carelessly. But I worked hard, and it was noticed. I once again started seeing some academic success, and I became hungry for more. I was pushing myself harder and harder. My momentum was gaining. I could see it. I could see myself earning a college diploma. I was starting to see what my life could look like, what it might look like. I graduated from the University of Maine in December of 2009 with 2 degrees in education. The following summer, I was hired by the Bangor School District as a classroom teacher at Down East Elementary School, the same school I attended for the majority of my 3rd grade year. And although I felt really proud of myself and as though because I was becoming successful in life, it wasn't until my son named me his hero for an 8th grade literacy assignment that I knew I had actually found it. That was a moment when I knew that all of my sacrifices, hard work, and dedication were worth it. For all the superheroes, pro athletes, celebrities, musicians, and politicians that could be a 14-year-old's hero, and he picked me, his mom. The hard times, the embarrassing times, the painful times, and the times I forced myself out of bed to face what the day had to offer, it was worth it. And it was on that day that I finally felt I had met success. Our path is what we make it, and our childhood does not define who we are today. And it seems every so often I have a misstep. I take a detour or the wrong path when I come to a fork in the road. My life, or even life in general, is not smooth, and that's not the message I want to send. My message is to remind you that we are fighters. Life may not be easy, and we may face a barrage of challenges, but we are fighters. Or we wouldn't be here, where we are today, celebrating this huge milestone. My advice to you, use it. Whatever it is that gets you to take that first step, to push yourself a little bit harder, to embark on a journey of a lifetime, to build the momentum that will carry you through life. Remember, momentum is all around us. We can either let it push us around or we can take control of it. But to take charge of your momentum, you will need courage. You will need direction and intention. You will need drive, dedication, determination, and hope. You will need grit, pure and simple. So congratulations today, and may the fire in you burn brightly, giving you the fight to build the momentum you need to continue on your path.
Thank you, Sarah. That was excellent. It's now time for the awarding of the diplomas, and to assist me, it will be Dr. Harris Spangberg and also, I believe, Dr. Robinson. So we'll have the diploma. So we'll call your name if you come up, get the diploma, and shake Dr. Robinson's hand, and then if you could go over pictures. Great. Muhammad Aswade. Tanya Ash. Chin Terrio. James Hooker. Claudia Bravesandi. Basil Leah. Phoenix Mills. Shaylani Campbell. Kylie Sanborn. Jessica Wallace. Bailey Clayton. Jacob Hall. Shaylee Ketch. Angel MacArthur. Warren Graduates, can I have you stand up? And if you turn your tassels. I'd just like to present you the tassel. Our academic coordinator, would like to say a few words now.
Hello, everyone. Students and support systems. I am beyond honored to have a moment to speak to the graduating class of 2025-26. You did it. You made it through what many of you said you didn't think you could do. Whatever the driving force was, you made the hard or sometimes scary decision to step through the doors of the Learning Center. It was at that point that you realized you were capable, and that's when the magic started. I've had the pleasure of working with most of you in one way or another, whether that be practice testing, official testing, connecting you with a teacher, or talking through frustrations, whether they be personal or academic related. During this past year, the Learning Center has been privileged in aiding 81 students to date in obtaining their high school equivalency or adult education diploma, each of them bringing to the table their past struggles, hardships, and barriers, and yet despite those roadblocks, able to overcome them to complete. We are beyond honored to have worked with these students. Graduates, you all should be so proud of what you have accomplished and excited for what the future now holds for you. Not only did you make a large commitment to continue school, some of you it may have been 3 months, 3 years, maybe even 10 years since you were in a formal school setting. But whatever the driving force was, and as hard as it may have been, you enrolled and stayed committed, which is no easy feat. Support systems. Thank you for your continued encouragement for the students during their time with us. You are a crucial part of their journey. Whether that be a ride, watching children, cheering them on when they began testing, or just saying you can do this. You have no idea how much further a person will go when there is simply someone in their corner saying, I believe in you. Don't forget about us at the Little Learning Center on York Street as you continue to pave the way to your dreams. We love to hear from you 1, 5, 10, 20 years from now. We want to know what you're up to. Your support from us does not just end here tonight. We're happy to help in any way that we can for you moving forward. To us, you are all the super glue that helps hold the Learning Center puzzle together, and you have now made this puzzle 81 pieces larger. Congratulations.
Thank you, Holly. I'd just like to say a few words as well. This ceremony caps another good year for us, a successful year. We have about 20 people here tonight, I think, graduating, but as Holly said, we did have 81 complete their high school credential with us this year. And that represents a first step in a career pathway that could include industry recognized credentials or post-secondary education, the military, employment, or job promotions. In addition to the high school completion program, we also had 30 people earn their certified nursing assistant pin this year. And Trish Hayes, our college and career success coordinator, and Brian Loring, our NMRC coordinator, have assisted dozens of students in enrolling in post-secondary education. Additionally, our program has worked with over 100 multi-language learners this year as well. So I, like the others before me here tonight, want to offer my sincere congratulations to the graduates and those earning those industry certifications. You should be truly proud of your accomplishment. Each person had some sort of barrier to overcome on their way to earning their high school credential. Many had jobs and other commitments, yet found the time to attend classes and to complete the necessary tasks for success. They were resourceful to make childcare arrangements while attending classes, and in some instances, it was all the above. Conscious decisions were made to make education a priority, and each person did whatever it took to achieve their success. So that's really remarkable. I encourage all of you to continue to pursue your career goals, whether it's joining the workforce, earning a promotion, attending college, or enlisting in the military. And I'd like to remind you that recent adult education graduates qualify for the Maine Free Scholarship Program. And that means that recent graduates don't pay any tuition if they're pursuing a one-year certificate or a two-year associate's degree at any of the 7 Maine community colleges. Eastern Maine Community College in Bangor offers over 30 1- and 2-year program options. Some examples include automotive technology, plumbing, criminal justice, nursing, surgical technology, culinary arts, and liberal studies. And any credits earned at EMCC will transfer to 4-year colleges. And they also offer many short-term trainings through their workforce development program that can lead to a certification in employment. So in closing, I'd just like to remind you that success is never final. And tonight is the beginning point of a career pathway that could lead in a number of different directions. So learning is a lifelong process regardless of the path you select. Stay the course, be persistent, and keep overcoming those barriers. So on behalf of the Bangor School Department, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. This concludes our ceremony tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out on such a long evening. But we really appreciate it, and it's a wonderful ceremony. Thank you very much.